Women have forever been used by the advertising industry to convey how consumers should feel about products, how women should act and feel within society, and how society as a whole should view women. Ads have changed their meanings in regards to female empowerment between the 1900s and present day through the incorporation of messages geared towards working women, positive female involvement, and the lessening of sexualization within the ads. Although many ads are seen throughout the last century to be anti feminist, there are a few that made it past the harsh treatment of women and actually viewed them as active members of society. This portrayal of female empowerment is not only seen through the few feminist ads, but through the trends also seen regarding women's pay and their treatment within the workforce. The Gibson Girl crossed many societal lines by paving the way for women to participate in activities they've never had before. Her dress was copied, but more so her attitude and persona. Her confidence and self assuredness became an idea of what American women should be. The Gibson Girl paralleled to Barbie through several qualities, including the portrayal of women as strong individuals who could play sports while maintaining perfectly coiffed hair and dress. However, like Barbie, it created an unrealistic ideal of what women should look like, such as perfect proportions, long flowing hair, thin waist, and overall projecting the idea of the ideal American woman. Looking good is feeling good. You can do anything as long as you have the look. The second ad is selling a corset for athletic exercise as bicycle wear, but also includes health benefits such as support and it allows full expansion of the lungs. They sell to all body types. Little did they know, corsets cause severe organ displacement and various forms of cancer. Jazz music was a propelling force in the women's liberation movement in the United States during the 1920s. Women were seen as the largest group of supporters for the ratification of the 18th and 19th Amendments. Women's organizations can be seen as almost the sole supporters of the Prohibition and the suffrage movement. These victories paved the way for the empowerment of women, and jazz music provided females of all ages with an outlet for rebellion. Jazz helped in providing jobs for women within the music industry and expanded the base of women as a consumer target market. After a Man's Heart can be seen as showing the sexualization of women and using females to sell products directed towards men. The Mae West advertisement showed that ads were able to determine how women should look and behave based on the approval of men. Being based in the 1930s, it is interesting that the Colonium ad was not the portrayal of a woman in the kitchen, but rather a man and what seems to be his son. Although this era was not progressive for women, and the female empowerment was rarely seen projected in advertisements, the fact that this commercial was present within that time period shows that there may have been some headway made. One of the most prominent advertisements in the 1940s was Rosie the Riveter. Rosie the Riveter was a government campaign aimed at recruiting female workers for the munitions industry, which became perhaps the most iconic image of working women during the war. Though women who entered the workforce during World War II were crucial to the war effort, their pay continued to lag far behind their male counterparts. Female workers rarely earned more than 50% of male wages. Many other ads sent the same message to women, such as wanting them to join the workforce, how they can help with the army, and other ways they can offer their services like men. The median ratio of females to males in the 1950s was 62 cents to a dollar, according to the Journal of Labor Economics. The idea of the man's world was perpetualized to the point that it appeared everywhere in advertising in both positive and negative light. Ads appealing to men showed women serving them food on their hands and knees. Realizing that women were naturally unhappy about this portrayal, Trans World Airlines pushed back by releasing an ad entitled, "Who Says It's a Man's World?", intending to show that women can travel and be worldly just like men. The median ratio of females to males in the 1960s was 59 cents to the dollar, down from the previous year. The main advertising focus of the 60s was the idea of having a perfect body. In the 60s, that just meant doing whatever it took to be stick skinny. The ads in this time period focused on ways to get the perfect body, such as by using a girdle and little fibber, marketed with the text, "Girls with too much bottom and too little top, we can reshape you," or by simply showing thin women with perfect hair, or, again, catering to men, this time in the form of beer. The median wage ratio of females to males in the 1970s was 59 cents to a dollar, down from the past 2 years. However, as opposed to years past, general trends in women's advertising in the 70s tended to actually focus on women and, in a way, showcase the beginning of self-care and differences deemed as okay between men and women. Products marketed towards women are not without. The median wage ratio of females to males in the 1980s was 59 cents to a dollar. Now that there was a small decrease in the wage gap, women wanted to act more masculine. This included wearing suit pants instead of a dress, drinking Jägermeister liquor instead of vodka, smoking cigarettes, and acting like one of the guys. A huge advancement in women's empowerment was International Women's Day, created in 1982. A quote within the text of the centered picture includes, "This is not a man's war, but a people's war, and very, very much suffering has been borne by the women, be they mothers, wives, political activists, or volunteers, and the men ought to remember that without the sacrifice of women there would be no struggle at all." This is also the decade Joan Benoit Samuelson won the first ever women's Olympic marathon. A series of ads were printed in her honor, including one which stated, "Be as tough as she," followed by a photograph of Samuelson running. This was an important decade in women's empowerment as role models and idols were presented. The average ratio of female to male earnings in the 1990s was 72 cents to a dollar, the smallest it had ever been. This high sparked a new interest in women. Successes in work also sparked a high as this wage gap became smaller and women began receiving higher quality job titles. The 1980s sparked the one of the guys mentality, but now the actions by women to be like one of the guys was interpreted as women empowerment and actions as one of the girls. Sports sparked a new interest after the 1980s when the first woman won an Olympic gold medal. Women in sports was new in entertainment, including the Williams sisters and athletic brands such as Nike and Adidas. This girl can became a phenomenon to empower working out with strength and beauty. Sports became of high interest for women in the 1990s. The average ratio of female to male earnings in the 2000s was 68 cents to a dollar. This small dip sent women's empowerment in a new direction. In the 2000s, fashion exploded with new importance, along with an hourglass figure becoming the high-end model look that everyone was pushing for. Got Milk also became of importance as a highly well-known advertisement, including many celebrities such as Angelina Jolie, Britney Spears, and Lindsay Lohan. Countless Got Milk celebrity featured ads included sexualized photographs. Women's sexualization in the media flourished from men's body spray ads to McDonald's commercials. The 2010s have seen a new high in women to men earnings with a ratio of 81 cents to a dollar. The 2010s associate empowerment with physical and mental strength. This is a time where equality is the most sought after. Athletes such as Gabby Douglas and Serena Williams are an inspiration for women's empowerment. To be like a girl is to be strong, powerful, and brilliant. Boxing, running, and many sports attributed to men in the past are now taken up successfully by women. Companies like Always support girls by accepting and empowering women's movements. The Like a Girl campaign ran incredibly successfully while searching for the misconceptions and stereotypes of what like a girl means. We have come a long way, though gender stereotypes are still prominent in different ways in the media and in our day-to-day lives. Although women's definitions of femininity have changed throughout the years, it is clear that women are strong in every single way.